been offline for some time, but again we are back, and as we get to continue with the story and with what actually has happened today in terms of politics, and again there's so many things that are really happening around you, and what has really happened, especially in today's meeting with the Sifu who are today. Now I want to make some clear information to there's so many people who are actually who are following my content on a daily basis. I wish to make some clarity so you can really understand where we are headed as a country. So, in themselves, what really happened? How did you have questions? We've seen that whoever is against some leaders, especially in Louisa, doesn't get that what we call the togetherness, and again the warm welcome with the good and so many things that are actually event that are actually happened. Do you remember the very time that President Ruto, that very time he landed in Kisumu, especially storms? It happened. Now today, I'm sure sahi anga mali yako sahi, uburu wako sahi, sitaangalia TV. That number was huge, my dear friend. That number was, hata kama wewe ni nani, you can actually be shocked. Okay, let's be honest. Of course, Atuoli alisema eti mtu mkionanga watu wengi hizo ndio kura. Ati alikuwa na watu wengi eti mbona kushindana kura. No, we just want to believe. Wakati pia Maraga napitanga kwa hizi maralisi zaka anakosanga watu, si bado unamchekelea. But we believe that this guy had something, like these people have got something that cannot be really compared with anyone, because they are actually very unique in terms of how they are doing their politics and how they are really conducting themselves, and actually how they are mobilizing people. See the likes of Sifuna, the likes of Orengo, the likes of Babu Owino, the likes of our brother here in Gusii, Clive Gisiaro. We have the MP Kisumu South, Anthony Kibagendi, and there's so many politicians who are actually coming up and they're doing a massive work. So talk of what was shocking these guys is that whenever they land in a certain county, people come in large multitudes. Walikuwa na expect watu wawapige because the so many so-called Tutam people, or rather Tutam brigade, they were like, hawa sasa vile wameona hawa watu wamepita hivi kwa barabara, na juzi unaona watu wa Tutam walilipwa wakavalia UDA t-shirts huko kwa barabara wakikimbia wakamaliza. So leo ilikuwa ni siku ya watu wene wanajuanga Babu ni nani. Let me tell you who Babu is. Babu is a dare. Let me tell you who Sifuna is. Sifuna is another person who is fearless. He can do anything because he's fearless. And we've seen all that happen, especially when he is landing in other places. To some point, kuna wakati tear gas ilikuwa na rushwa, alafu hii tear gas ikirushwa, yeye anasema hiyo zima kama damu ya jana. Those things happened. Now today, what we are experiencing is that even those people are actually mobilized to go and try to disrupt people's meeting, especially with the Linda Mwananchi crew. Wanashindwa because wanaogopa kugongwa, number one. Because you saw what happened in Kakamega. When they were in Kakamega, they tried. When they tried, how watu waka overcome. The same thing how they overcome, vile walifika Kisumu, na vile walipanda ndege, na vile walifika especially in Kisumu, and again vile walifika Kakamega, it was never even told. Hata watu walishangaa kwani watu wamepitia wapi. But let me tell you, the secret here is that with Sifuna walking with Raila, with Sifuna working hand in hand with Babu during those times that they were going out for demonstrations with Raila Odinga. They know some secrets that these other people doesn't know. So talk of Oburu, what is the experience ako nayo sahi? Because Oburu ukimwambia waende maandamano, hata kujua vichorochoro za Nairobi haelewi. That's to be honest. He's a respectable man and a rather respectful man, but when it comes to these things then tunasema ni real thing. So like tell me, walikuwa wanasema na eneo ni ukweli. Sahi tuseme kibati mbaya, but this is not, we are assuming Orengo amekufa. We are assuming Orengo amekufa. What will you remember of Orengo? Orengo 1, he fought for multipartyism together with Raila Odinga. Orengo 2, he fought for what? For the new constitution together with Raila Odinga. Orengo came out for demonstrations together with Raila Odinga. Tell me of the senator of Siaya. What did he do? Alifanya nini? Hata ikufa leo tutajua ni nini? Tutajua tu is a brother. That's the case. Like we are taking for instance, amekufa. What will we be talking about Oburu? He was a brother to Raila Odinga. He was doing this. He did this. Nothing. The only thing tunajua ni weka mawe. Weka mawe. Mbwekse. By then he realized him saying content creator hatari mbaya sana. So I was like, you know, those are the kind of things that you need to understand. Now, that's why these people, the Linda Mwananchi faction, they are saying kwamba mtu ambaye anafaa kuwa party leader wa ODM is a person who has got legacy and who has done something. Usianza question by the Siaya governor a massive work. As much as tulikuwa tunasema eti Ongwae kufanya kitu, Ongwae did a lot of work. Within town, unaona hiyo ram vile hiyo tarmac road within the CBD. After miundo imerekebishwa, it's okay. Wakati wa rallies, wakati it's coming again na repair. Hizo they were preparing those things and they were really nice. So back to the story. Now, that is why I'm telling you, these people, Babu, Sifuna, they have made it known, well known to so many people that they really have a say in terms of politics. Now, that is why leo Emilio Odhiambo alihivi na kuza, lakini kama alikuwa anaondoka taji sana kumfana avume, because the way you are fighting him is not the way he is mobilizing vitu. That guy is a mobilizer bwana. Mimi nilikuwa nadhani huyu jamaa hawezi kitu, kumbe he's someone who does a lot. So with the Kisumu success, now I'm very sure there are some questions that these leaders are asking themselves. Number one, what did we do wrong? Because walipewa pesa za kumobilize watu wasiende huko kwa hiyo faction. Ukiangalia Kondole Mwadhani, imagine that was just organic attendance. Lakini kuna watu ambao wanatofutwa na mapesa inamwagwa, wanavalia sijui makofia, wanavalia nini, so ukikuja kwa meeting mnaona tu hiyo yote iko namna hiyo. You saw what they said about Murang'a? Did you hear what really they said about Murang'a? Murang'a people were paid to come for that gathering. They were paid huge amounts. And that's why we are asking ourselves, because the last newspaper ilikuwa inasema kwamba the Kenya Kwanza government a budget yenye ilikuwa for only 4 years. So we are asking ourselves about just the 2 years, because we are headed. And what is going to happen after next year? Wanaweza shinda, of which watu wengi wanakataa watashinda. Watashinda, let's say watashinda, what will happen by 2032? it will be another story. Like maisikia kitu wanasemanga a swarm of bees. Hiyo sasa, hiyo swarm of bees itavamia pesa kwa account nini, itavamia until Kenya tutakuwa zile za kama Uganda. Like kuna mtu mmoja tu anajulikana akona pesa, akona hectares mingi za mashamba nini. But anyway, I want to finish with this, and actually don't leave this because you need to understand 3 major key things, especially with the meeting of today. Number 1, ODM on your watu wa Linda ground, they have lost it. That's number 1. That's why uliona kwamba huyu member of parliament anasimamia maneno ya budgeting alikuwa amepanga maguns huko Kisumu. Of course it was something and tunasikia, but it does not be confirmed because personally it's something that I had. Najua mara nyingi sipendangi kupeana propaganda, I want to say, but of course those goons walikuwa wamepangwa na they were actually doing some patrols ndio watu wasitokee. But the bad thing ni kwamba wakati wamemaliza, ndugu wakatoka kanisani because jana walienda kuona rais honorable Raila Odinga the late mahali alikuwa meziko huko mahali alikuwa wakarudi. Leo walikuwa kanisani, after kanisani wakaombewa, wakasema sasa tunaenda. They came out in huge numbers and people were actually receiving them warmly. And what happened with the message of announcing that they have welcomed these guys ambao ni watoto wa Raila Odinga, things happened. Now, number 1, what you will have to understand is that ODM Linda ground have lost one, or rather some percentage in terms of vile walikuwa naangaliwa na none other than President William Ruto. Now, number 2, on the same point, that is why you had Gladys Wanga JOGOO that he is William Ruto. Why? Because trying to do some strategy. Hear this. Strategy iko hapa. Ruto akifall kwa hiyo trap ya kwenda na mtu ambaye anaitwa JOGOO anajulikana within just coastal region, and of which akona mashabiki wa KISII kumvotia. Be understanding. Sasa wamepeana JOGOO kwa sababu yeye alikuwa ametishia kuingia kwa serikali. Akiingia kwa serikali, hawa watu ambao wenye wako kwa based juu wameanza kuona kashida. Umeona, wameanza kuona kashida na wameona cost inaweza rudi. Of course not in a huge number because already unaona kwamba leo umeona kwamba watu wa nini United Opposition together the Rigathi Gachagua, they were Asa County. Uliona kitu wameendelea kufanya. Najua they are trying to ensure that they mobilize as much as people who are going to vote them in. Now, namba hiyo ambayo nimesema ni kwamba wakishapeana Hassan Joho akiingia kwa serikali, Gladys Wanga ataingia na watu wa with and they'll ask for forgiveness. Wabaliwe kuingia na Sifuna. They'll be out by the end of this year. And that is after imegonga mwamba. Of course, Joe ambaye ataingia kwa ODM. After they come in, the ODM faction, hiyo ya Linda ground ikiungana na hii, kwa sababu Linda ground na Linda, sorry, back again. Now, what I'm saying is that President Ruto, he's trying to see if Rigathi Gachagua in the government again, kwa sababu kama mambo haitakuwa mzuri. See what happened ni kwamba he talked out of frustration. President Ruto, kama hujamjua, he talks out of frustration. So because he was frustrated, kwa sababu wamejaribu kutafuta Rigathi Gachagua, because Rigathi Gachagua at first alikuwa amewaambia kwa kama unakumbuka matanga ya Olkalau, alikuwa amesema kama unataka tujiunge, mimi tutajiunga na wewe, lakini lazima uachane na Kimani Ichung'wah. Reason ya kumwambia na Kimani Ichung'wah ni kwamba anajua the moment hivyo Kiambu imeenda. Sasa Rigathi Gachagua for whatsoever he cannot